Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a lot of fun doing it. We're going to read from a book, but it's not going to be this week, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, which we've been doing for the past 9 weeks. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to read from an incredible book, and we're only going to read one chapter. And then next week, we'll go back to The Power of the Subconscious Mind. The book that I've chosen for this week was written in 1910 by an author named Wallace Waddles. And the book is called The Science of Getting Rich. Most people think of getting rich as financially secure. You can also be rich in happiness, peace, love, kindness, well being. Rich can be associated with many different things. And while it does apply to money, it can also apply to many other things. So when I read what we're going to read today, and as I break it down with you, I want you to think of it from that perspective. Think of it not only about money, but about all those other areas that you can be wealthy in as well. The book, The Science of Getting Rich, was written and ultimately used for the movie The Secret, which was watched by millions and millions of people. So we're going to break this down. If you just listen to this episode over and over for the next 3 months, every single day, and you apply what you learned in this, I promise you, you will have incredible results if you practice doing what it says in here. Now, you can't just read it. You can't just listen to it. You've got to do it. You've got to apply it in your life. And it's the application that is everything. One simple note, I took the chapter and I tweaked it a little bit to make it easier to digest. Now, if you were reading this alone, it's not so easy to digest. However, that's the beauty of me being here because I've studied this, I've learned it, and I want to teach it to you in a level that you really get it and that you can understand it. Because for me to understand information, I have to break it down that way for myself. Right? So let's jump in. We're going to read paragraph by paragraph until we finish this chapter. The previous chapter explained how to communicate your desires to your higher power. Let me pause for a second. We're going to be talking in this chapter about God, also called divine intelligence, universal intelligence, a higher power. It doesn't matter what you call it. You're going to see a reference to Jesus in here. This doesn't mean that you have to follow Jesus and Jesus's teachings. We're going to look at this as a higher power. Again, it doesn't matter what you call it, just make it work for you. And instead of allowing a name or a word to distract you from the messages that are here that you can use in your life to learn and get better and grow, let's just use a word that's going to work for us. So as we move forward, again, we're going to see these words. Don't worry about it. Just make it work for you. Okay. So it's again, it said, we explained how to communicate your desires to this higher power, the source of all things. To do this effectively, you need to connect with God, divine, or universal intelligence. Again, all the same thing. This connection is crucial. So let's pause for a second. Connecting to that source is crucial for us to get the wealth that we want to have in our life. Back to the book. And we'll explore how to achieve it, guiding you toward the perfect mental unity with God, divine, or universal intelligence. This connection is achieved through gratitude. Let's pause for a second. Gratitude is one of the best things that you, myself, and anyone else can do to connect to that higher power. When we show gratitude, we show our thankfulness for everything that we have in our life. I I recently told this story to a client, and I want to take the moment to tell it to you. Think about for a moment, you're a parent, you have a child, and you go out and you buy this really nice gift for the child, and you give the gift to the child, and the child takes it and tosses it into the corner and shows no appreciation for it whatsoever. My question to you is, how soon would you go out and buy another gift for your child if they treated that gift the way that they did? The answer that I hear often is, I wouldn't go out and buy a gift anytime soon. And then I asked why. And the answer was because they showed no gratitude. They showed no appreciation. They showed no thankfulness for the fact that this gift was given to them. And what I want you to think about here is that higher power. Imagine that higher power is like a parent to us. And that higher power provides us with amazing things. It provides us with electricity, with a house, with heat and air conditioning, and all the other things, with our health, with our well being, with our ability to think, see, hear, smell, taste, touch, all of those things we have. And I want to ask you a question. How often do we take that for granted? Well, when we take it for granted and we don't show thankfulness for all the things that we have, what do you think the chances are that that higher power would want to give us more good things to celebrate in our life? And the answer is they wouldn't. Just like we wouldn't want to give more to our child right away, that higher power doesn't want to give to us. So the best thing that we can do to connect to that higher power is to start showing gratitude for every single thing that we have in our life. Literally every single thing, because we have so much. In other words, if you are given another thing in your lifetime, you've been given so many gifts and you have so much that it's truly remarkable. Again, just your health and well-being, just the fact that all of your organs in your body are operating, you're breathing, you're seeing, you're hearing, you're smelling, you're tasting, you're touching, you're thinking, all of those things are miraculous. And yet we take it for granted until sometimes we lose one of those things. So for example, if you hurt your hand, and it's hurt. And then you start trying to pick things up and you realize, well, I can't pick it up. Boy, I really have appreciation for the ability to use my hand. And then when you're finally, your hand is healed and you're able to pick things up and do the things that you want with your hand, you have so much gratitude for it. What we want to do is not have to lose that gift to realize how grateful we can be for it. We want to appreciate the gift. We want to be thankful for the gift and we want to show gratitude for that gift on a consistent basis. Does it make sense? Great. Okay, so let's go back to the chapter. So again, how do we make this connection to that higher power through gratitude? Well, it's going to give us 3 steps to do that. First, believe there's one intelligent power. So there's one source where all things come from. It creates everything. Second, believe this power wants to give you what you desire. Let's pause for a second there. We want to believe that this power wants to give us what we want to desire, because if we don't believe that and we put out something in opposition to that and show a lack of appreciation for what we already have, again, that power probably won't want to give us more to be thankful for in our life. So we want to believe this power wants to give you what you want to desire. And third, connect with it, with that power, with God, with divine, connect with it by feeling deep gratitude. And again, we're going to get into what does that mean to feel deep gratitude. We'll get there as we move forward. This next paragraph that we're going to read is huge. And I want you to think about this in your life when it comes to money. It says many people struggle financially despite living really good lives because they lack gratitude. They receive gifts from God, but they disconnect by not acknowledging them. So let's pause for a second. Let's think about what it just said there. How many times have you gotten a sale, or you've gotten a new client, or money magically came in somehow to you? How much thanks and how much gratitude did you offer based on the fact that that came in? When you receive your paycheck on a weekly basis, do you show gratitude for that? In other words, if that paycheck went away tomorrow, what would happen? How would you deal with it? You'd have to find another job. Suddenly income would stop coming in. But because it's consistent, because it's happening week after week, we have the tendency at times to take it for granted. And what it's saying here is that we can no longer do that. If we want financial well being, if we want financial richness, if we want richness in other areas of our life, then we have to show gratitude for all the things that we currently have. Now let's go back to the book. The closer we are to the source of wealth, the more we receive. Let's pause there. The closer we are to the source of wealth, what is the source of wealth? God, divine, higher power. The closer we are to the source of wealth, the more we receive. So the way that we get close to the source is how? Through gratitude. So the more gratitude we show, the better. A grateful soul is always closer to God than an ungrateful one. So that connection to God, that connection to source, that connection to the power, when we show that gratitude, it's like we're plugging into the wall and we're getting the electricity that we need. I remember when I was doing a training out in Los Angeles, this woman got up and told this great story. She said, I take my vacuum cleaner and I push it all around the house and I'm expecting it to clean up the house. Yet I look and then all of a sudden I've spent 20, 30 minutes vacuuming and I realized that the plug wasn't plugged into the wall to give it electricity, to turn it on so that the power was running, so that the suction would occur and the rugs would actually get cleaned. But how many of us do the same thing? We're running about our day hoping that this higher power, this source will have good things in our life, but we're not plugged in. We're not connected to the source because we're not showing gratitude for all the things that we already have in our life. All right, let's go back to the book. When good things happen, the more grateful we are, the more good things we will receive and the faster they will arrive. Gratitude brings us closer to the source of these blessings. Let's pause. When good things happen, the more grateful we are, the more good things we receive. How do we apply this in our day-to-day life? Let's use a couple examples. How about when your children get home from school, from college, or come over to the house? They drove over and they made it here. There was no car accident. They're healthy. All is well. When they walk in that door, do you ever pause for a moment and give gratitude and thanks for the fact that they made it to the house? So again, it's showing gratitude for these common daily things that occur. I go up to the refrigerator. I open the refrigerator door. I look inside the refrigerator and there's tons of food in there. Do you pause when you see that food in your refrigerator and say, God, I am so thankful. Thank you so much for providing me the necessary food and nutrients so that I can live a healthy life and I don't have to struggle to eat like so many people do. Let's use one more example. How about when you're going to the bathroom? How many people don't have the luxury of being able to use the bathroom in a normal fashion? How many people have a bag connected to them that they either have to urinate or move their bowels into and walk around with that attached to them? How often, when you're going to the bathroom, are you giving thanks for what you just did, which was go to the bathroom? How about when you flush the toilet? When you flush the toilet and everything gets flushed down and the plumbing system's working and you have running water, how many times are you thankful and say, thank you so much for giving me the gift of having a working toilet and plumbing? There are so many other people out there that don't have the luxury of that. There are people that have to dig a hole in the ground and go to the bathroom there and cover it up with dirt. There are people that do not have toilet paper. Again, these are everyday common things. And if we're grateful for those things, do you think when we get some bigger things that show up in our life, we might be thankful for those? Let's go back to the book. If the idea of gratitude connects you to the universe creative energies, in other words, God or higher power or divine intelligence, if this idea of gratitude connecting you to that source is new, consider it carefully. The good things you have received came through following certain laws. Gratitude will guide you towards how things come to you, keeping you aligned with the creative thought and preventing you from competitive thinking. Let me pause here. Gratitude will guide you towards how things come to you. And the key is keeping aligned with creative thought and preventing you from competitive thinking. Let's use it in a couple examples here. You're scrolling on social media. You see one of your friends just got this brand new house. How many of you at times get a little bit envious, maybe a little bit jealous that, well, how come I can't get a house like that? How come I can't get a new car like that? How come I can't go on vacation like that? It can't, we can go on autopilot and feel those feelings, or we can connect to gratitude. When we start thinking this way, when we start thinking about all the things that they have and that we don't have, that's competitive thinking. That's why can't I be like them? Rather, what if we were grateful for them? What if we said to ourselves, man, I am so grateful that my friend is able to go on a vacation. I am so grateful that they're going to have some things that they really want in their life. I'm grateful that they have this. I'm grateful that they feel good. I'm grateful that they're excited. And what if when we see that house that they just moved into or that they're moving into, we pause and reflect on our own house and say, I am so grateful for the house that I already have. I am so grateful to have this house. I'm so grateful for my family that's in it. I'm so grateful for my health. And we think from gratitude. Do you notice that when you're thinking from gratitude, that you will not be able to have competitive thinking? You will not be competing against anyone else. You'll be thankful for them and what they have, and you'll be thankful for you and what you have. Now, let me ask you this. When you're thinking on that frequency of gratitude, what do you think you might experience more of in your life? You're going to experience more things to be grateful for. Because if you're in gratitude consistently, more things will show up that you can be grateful for. And if you don't believe me, try it. I've seen it happen with a lot of clients. They change from this competitive thinking. How am I going to keep up? All these other salespeople are producing at a higher level than me. And when they stop worrying about everyone else and they're grateful for the fact that they can help their clients and they have what they have, and that they're just going to keep doing the best to help other people, guess what happens to their ultimate results? Of course, they always get better because they're thinking from a place of gratitude. They are not doing competitive thinking, they're doing creative thinking. In fact, when you're in this place of gratitude, ideas, thoughts, people will be attracted into your life that are on that same frequency, that same feeling, that same vibration of gratitude, and you will experience more good things in your life. Seems a little bit nutty when you think about it. Can that really work? And the answer is if you do it, it will work. You got to do the work for it to work. And the work is I'm going to choose from now on to really think about all the things that I can be grateful for on a consistent basis. And when we wrap this up at the end, I'm going to give you a little process on how you can do that. All right, let's go back to the book. Only gratitude can keep your focus on unlimited source of everything. Only gratitude can keep you focused on God, the divine, preventing the harmful belief in scarcity. There's a law of gratitude that you must follow to achieve your goals. Let's continue on. This law states Yeah, action and reaction are always equal and opposite. Let's pause here. There's a law that says whatever action I take, whatever I think, whatever I feel, whatever I put out into the world, there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction. Let's put it into an example so that you can understand it real simply. If I'm upset at you and I come to you and I start screaming at you, what do you think the chances are that the reaction will be a very polite and happy reaction? Well, based on this law, whatever I put out is going to come back. So if I'm putting out anger and yelling and screaming, there's a very good likelihood that what that is exactly what's going to come back. If I put out lack, I have a lack of money, I have a lack of well-being, and I am consistently focused on the lack, what do you think, based on this law of equal and opposite reaction, I'm putting that out there, what's going to come back? Well, it's going to be lack and limitation. So let's use this law to our advantage and let's put out good, let's put out gratitude, let's put out kindness, let's put out thanks. And when we do that, we're going to be seeing some amazing changes in our life. If you just did this one thing and did it at a level that was really high, meaning you're doing it on a very consistent basis, you will see your life change. Gratitude is the key to financial wealth. Gratitude is the key to wealth, happiness, well being, peace, love, kindness, everything. We must come from a place of gratitude. Let's go back to the book. When you express gratitude to God, you release energy. This energy reaches its target, and the reaction is an immediate movement towards you. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. It's a psychological truth. This just goes back to what we were just saying. Whatever we put out, it will easily and effortlessly come back to us. So instead of putting out negativity, instead of putting out blaming, complaining, and making excuses, maybe we take responsibility. We look in the mirror. We look at all the things that we could be grateful for, and we put that out into the world, and we'll start to notice things changing in our lives. Back to the book. Strong, consistent gratitude creates a strong, continuous reaction from divine, God, universe. The things you desire will move toward you. Let me repeat that. The things you desire will move towards you. Why? Because of the consistent gratitude. It creates a strong, continuous reaction from God. And therefore, things you desire will move towards you. You can't have much power without gratitude because it connects you to power. So again, remember, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling worried, if you're feeling doubt, if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling any of those negative feelings, the best thing that you can do is start to really think about gratitude. Now, I want to give you a great example of this. There's a picture on my desk, and on that picture is a group of friends that I just saw at a bar mitzvah that I went to. These are all friends that I went to college with years and years ago. They're good guys. And I could look at that picture and I could say, wow, I'm really grateful for those guys. That's surface level gratitude. Or what I could do instead is I could look at that picture and I can look at an individual in that picture and say to myself, I am so grateful for that guy. I remember when he flew out with a one-way ticket to Michigan so that he could help me and drive back with me from Michigan to New Jersey. I'm grateful for that guy. He means a whole lot to me. And then I look at the next person in the picture and I say, I'm grateful for this person because, and I go on and on. Now, where am I going to experience more gratitude? In the surface level, oh, I'm grateful for these guys in the picture, or by really digging in and asking myself, why am I so grateful? What is it about that person that I'm grateful for? You see the difference? And the more that we connect that way in a deeper way, really experiencing the gratitude we have for that person, The more connected we are to God, divine, and the more we're going to have in our life, the more future blessings we have. In fact, if we go back to the book, the next sentence says it. Gratitude isn't just about future blessings. Without it, you'll likely become dissatisfied with your current situation. When you focus on what you lack, your mind takes on the form of those negative things. Pause. This is really important. Without gratitude, we're going to become dissatisfied. Without gratitude, we're going to look at the things that we don't have and we're going to become dissatisfied because we don't have them. We're going to look at the bank account and say, why don't I have more money? Why can't I go on vacation? Rather than, thank you, God, for providing me with another paycheck. Thank you, God, for giving me the amount of money that I have in the account right now. If I didn't have that, I'd be in a lot of trouble. If I didn't have that, I could be out on the street homeless, like some of the people that are actually out there struggling just to stay warm. I am so lucky. I am so grateful. I am so appreciative. When we come from that positive place of gratitude, what we focus on, we're focusing on what we do have, not lack. Therefore, more good things, thoughts, feelings, actions, results will come towards us because whatever we focus on is what we get. Does this make sense? Okay, back to the book. So again, it says when you focus on what you lack, your mind takes on the form of those negative things. You then send these mental images of lack, of worry or upset to God, and then you attract those very same things back into your life. So we are responsible for what we have in our life. And part of what we can do to get the things that we want is have gratitude, thanks, and appreciation for all the amazing things that we have already in our life. Back to the book. Focusing on the inferior makes you inferior and surrounds you with inferior things. Conversely, focusing on the best surrounds you with the best and helps you become your best. The creative power within us, which is God, shapes us into what we focus on. God shapes us, the divine universal intelligence shapes us into what we focus on. So if we are focused on gratitude, we are going to be thankful for everything that we have. And I promise you, more blessings will come into your life because just like you, as a parent, would want your child to be appreciative of the gifts that you've given them. And then when they were, you would want to go out and give them more gifts. It's the same thing with that higher power. The higher power, when it sees that we're thankful for all that we have and we're consistently communicating that thankfulness and that gratitude, then God, that divine power, is going to give us more to be thankful for. Okay. You can tell I'm pretty passionate about this because it works. It works. All right, back to the book. We are thinking power, and this power takes on the form of our thoughts. A grateful mind focuses on the best, becoming the best, and receiving the best. So, pause for a second. So, what you're going to do is you're going to be consistently thinking about the things that you're grateful for. And when you do that, your mind is focusing on the best. It's focusing on all these incredible things that you have in your life and you become the best and you receive the best. It is a law. That is the way it works. And if you don't believe me, try it, but really do it. And if you really do it and you do it for a period of time, you will start to see some magical things occur in your life. All right, we're wrapping up this chapter. Let's pull it together. Back to the book. Gratitude also breeds faith. Let's pause for a second. Did you ever lack faith in something? Oh, I doubt highly I'll ever really earn seven figures or mid six figures. I doubt highly that that's going to happen. I don't have the faith. Well, through gratitude, gratitude breeds the faith. So if you're not thankful for all you have, you're not going to have the faith that you need, which is necessary to have the belief that you will be able to receive and get the things that you want in your life. Show gratitude for what you currently have, and you'll be magically blessed with more and more things to be grateful for. That's the bottom line of this entire discussion today. All right, back to the book. A grateful mind expects good things, and this expectation becomes faith. Gratitude increases faith. Without gratitude, you can't maintain a living faith, which is essential for getting rich and creative methods. So, again, the answer is gratitude is the thing that will breed faith, and faith is necessary to have more wealth in our lives. Okay, back to the book. Therefore, cultivate a habit of gratitude for every good thing, continuously giving thanks because everything contributes to your progress. Be grateful for everything. Let's pause for a second. If you're going through a divorce, you lose a job, you get into a car accident, can you be grateful in those moments? Think to yourself for a moment, what could I be thankful for if I lost my job, if I got into a car accident? Maybe you could be thankful for the fact that even though your car might be destroyed, that you didn't get hurt. Or even if you did break a leg, thank God I didn't get more hurt. I could have lost consciousness. I could have been killed. There's always something to be grateful for. Even in bad times like that, or what seems to be bad, those things are happening for a reason and purpose. We don't really know what that is. And I don't know that we will ever know that. These things are happening for a reason and purpose. And our job is to look for gratitude in these events, in the bad event, in the car accident. This wasn't good, but what can I be grateful for? There's always something to be grateful for. If you go through a divorce, what can you be grateful for in that process? Maybe the fact that you're still able to take care of your kids and still have them in your life. There could be many reasons, but the point is look for one or two things that you can be grateful for and focus on those and then watch what starts to happen. I'm going to tell you a story. This is a true story. I remember that I used to work for a large law firm in the IT department, and they decided that they were going to lay off all these middle managers. And of course, I was one of them. And I remember the HR director who I was really close with, and I considered him to be like a brother. He was the one who had to give me the news. And I remember saying to him, and he can confirm this, that I'm grateful. I said, "You don't have to tell me anything else." I said, "I'm grateful because I know that I've been wanting to get out of this job for a long time. And two, it's going to lead me to the next best place that I need to go. And I'm grateful for it. And I know that I'll also be working very shortly." And he was blown away. He had never heard anyone say that. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just showing you how in bad circumstances, we can still use gratitude. And you know what ended up happening? Literally 1 week later, I had a new job just like that after it was like 10 years of working in that job. So when we put out that gratitude and we don't blame, complain, and make excuses, which is what I could have done very easily. And I think if I had done that, I don't believe I would have gotten the job as quickly as I did because I would have been so focused on why did this happen to me instead of I'm grateful because I know it's going to take me where I need to go. That's how this ultimately ended up unfolding the way that it needed to. Because I had the belief, I was grateful for it, I had faith, and ultimately the blessings were given to me for that. And I'm grateful for that to this day. Back to the book. Don't waste time criticizing the wealthy or powerful. Their organization of the world has created your opportunities. Everything you receive comes to you partly because of them. Don't rail against corrupt politicians. Without them, we'd have anarchy, limiting your opportunities. I love this last paragraph. God, the divine universal intelligence, has patiently worked to bring us to our current state. It continues and eventually will remove those in power when the time is right. Meanwhile, they are a part of the system through which your riches will come. Be grateful to them all. This aligns you with the good in everything, and that good will move toward you. Okay. So this is the perfect environment, politics, We look at all of these things, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. You can still be grateful. You may not agree with what's going on. And if you're not going out and doing something about it, then you can just be grateful that you have your house. You can be grateful that you have your life. You can be grateful that you have your job. You can be grateful for all these things. You can be grateful that they're in those positions doing things that we can't do. There's always something to be grateful for. All right. So to wrap this up, I want to give you an exercise that I believe if you do this consistently, this will be the way to apply gratitude in your life. And it's this: when you wake up in the morning, the very first thing you do is give thanks for waking up, because there's a lot of people today that didn't wake up. They died in their sleep. They died in the hospital. They died in a car accident. They died for many different reasons, but you didn't. You woke up, you're healthy, you're breathing, and be thankful for that. God, thank you so much for giving me the ability to live another day and share and make a difference in people's lives today. Then you get up and you get out of bed. Thank you, God, for allowing me to stand up. Thank you for allowing the muscles in my body to operate in such a way that I could stand up. Thank you for giving me the cognitive ability to be able to walk to the bathroom, which I'm doing right now. Thank God. There is a lot of people out there right now that aren't walking, that don't have that mobility. And I'm so grateful that I do. And I thank you so much. And I say a blessing and prayer to those people that don't, that maybe somehow they'll be blessed with the ability to walk again. What we're doing is we're going through our day in gratitude. Let me just continue a little bit more and you see where I'm going with this. I go into the bathroom and like before, I say the same thing. Thank you, God, for allowing me to go to the bathroom. Thank you for giving me a prostate that's functioning and I'm able to go to the bathroom and I flush the toilet and the water's working and I have fresh, clean water to wash my hands with and wash my face with. And I can brush my teeth and keep them clean, because some places they don't have any of this stuff and their teeth are falling out and they don't have the ability to care for their teeth. Thank you for putting me in a place where I have that ability and I can be grateful for that. I go downstairs, I go into the refrigerator, like I mentioned before, and I'm thankful for the food. I'm thankful for the electricity, which keeps the food in my refrigerator cold and it keeps the food in the freezer frozen. You know, when you have a power outage and maybe it goes for 5, 6, 7 hours, how grateful are you when that power kicks back on and you didn't lose all the food in your refrigerator or freezer? We forget these things, but every day we have the opportunity to be thankful for them. And what you do is as you go through the rest of your day, you continue the process. I go to get in my car to go to the gym. Thank you, God, for blessing me with a car that functions, that keeps me safe. Thank you for allowing me to have the money to buy the gas. Thank you for powering up the car and the batteries working. Like, all these things we take for granted. And if you just go through your day, and you don't have to do your whole day like that, but you could just throughout the day, find times where you're going to incorporate that gratitude. Someone says something not so nice. What can you be grateful for in that moment, even if it's not about that person who said that negative thing to you? Focus on gratitude and you will have blessings in your life. I hope that you found this valuable. If you listen to this over and over, I think it's really worthwhile to do so. There are so many gifts inside. If you continue to apply this in your life, what I promise you is you will live in peace. You will live in happiness. You will get rid of anxiety, depression. You can't feel negative feelings if you're consistently feeling gratitude. Your mind can only go one or the other. So why not have it go to gratitude? And like we've seen through everything that we just did, there are so many things that we can be grateful for. I want to end with this and let you know that I am so grateful for you. I'm grateful for you who's listening to this. I'm grateful for you who shares this with other people so that they can take this and use it to help themselves. I'm grateful for you for applying this in your life. I'm grateful to have the ability to share this with you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and share this podcast with people that you think could use it and potentially could use the help, because you never know what you sharing this with them could do for them ultimately. I thank you. I send so much love your way, and I'm wishing you a life filled with gratitude, happiness, and peace. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week.